How you doing? It's Robert here from robertcbrown.online. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are in the world today. I wanted to make a short video today about the subject of how to be a really good business consultant. Now, I've got a list of 7 items I want to flash through really quickly for you to consider and to implement in your business, and make sure you have them in place, because they really are going to make a big difference to your level of success as a business consultant. But before we get into that little list, essentially what it all comes down to are 2 critical factors that you need to have in place before we get into that list of 7 items. And the first is listening skills. Now, this was something that originally I learned when I first started coaching, the importance of kind of level 2 and level 3 listening skills. And that's a subject, by the way, for another video entirely, which I will do because it's very important. But if we sort of go back to maybe Stephen Covey, when he first said something along the lines of seek first to understand, then seek to be understood. Now, you can apply that to the subject of consulting as well. It's very difficult for you to do what's best for your client and do right by him or her if you haven't completely understood their issue, their pain, their problem, their challenge, the message they're trying to give you, because you're not listening on a deep enough level. Most of us go through life and we actually don't really know what it's like for somebody to truly be listening to what we're saying and listen to it from our perspective, deeply, intently, rather than couching everything in their own minds through their own perspective. And it's a tremendously powerful tool, because if you get your listening skills honed so that your client or prospective client feels as if you're listening to them, you will understand them on a level, you will have a connection on a level with those people that you would never have otherwise had. And it will allow you to understand them to a depth that will really empower you to come up with fantastic solutions for their issue, their challenge, and how to overcome it, move forward, and get the success that they desire. And the other thing is as well, that off the back of listening skills, communication skills. This is a second part. Listen first, communicate second. Once you really fully understand what their issue is, then you need to know how to communicate effectively to your prospective client or client, how to really get into his or her head and impact them. Get that knowledge in there, but also inspire them to take the action and continue through with commitment. And that's a real skill in itself as well. So, 2 important things that you need to do. They both come under the banner of communication, really. But the first one is you need to learn to really listen and understand the issues first. And then secondly, you need to become a master of communicating. A master of being able to agitate the problem, highlight the problem, and then being able to give them the solutions so that they really get connected with their pain, but then really appreciate the solution when it shows up. Hope that makes sense. Now I'm gonna move on to the list, and I'm gonna keep this pretty short because that was rather a long introduction. I think you'll agree. Okay, so number 1, we've kind of covered this. Know your prospective customer stroke client. Okay, understand his or her needs. Comes back to listening again. Invest in the time to really know what it is that they are finding a challenge right now. And then it will become, because of the level of listening you've given it and attention you've given it, it will become much easier for you to reach into your bag of tricks, as it were, and come up with a brilliant solution to solve that challenge and move them past it to the next level of success. So that's number 1 out of the way. Number 2, you need to have a really good marketing strategy in place for yourself. You see, most coaches, consultants I come into contact with, they're not actually doing marketing on a consistent basis. So what happens is they never really truly figure out what works and what doesn't, purely and simply because they don't have enough data to analyze. So what I would really compel you to do and suggest you do very, very strongly, is no matter how well you're doing with client acquisition, you keep marketing. You keep marketing and you keep marketing, okay? You must never stop marketing, because there are always avenues and channels that clients will move through that don't entail your one-on-one time. And that's something that we'll also talk about in another video, because we each of us get one life. You don't want to spend all of it in one-on-one conversations with clients. Otherwise, you'll lose your own quality of life. So we'll come back to that in another video. But essentially, keep marketing. Marketing is a skill. The more you do it, the better you get at it, and the better the results you get. As I said, not everybody is going to be able to or want to work with you on a one-on-one basis, and then you have the opportunity to put them into group situations or into programs and or courses that you've created to give them the education and the help they want without that personal connectivity that takes all of your time and personal resources. So that's number 2. Figure out a marketing plan, keep at it until you figure out the one that really works best for you, and then keep repeating. Rinse and repeat, and you will get the same predictable outcome. And that's a very, very powerful place to be in. Number 3, USP. You need to have a unique selling proposition. What makes you different right now from everybody else? Okay, you're a business consultant. What makes you different from every other business consultant out there right now? See, if you can't answer that question right now, there lies a very, very major issue that you've got to fix right now, before you start spending any money on advertising or go running out and about trying to get clients. Who do you serve? What is the problem that you help to solve? Get that clear. And by the way, you may be serving, I have to mention this, you may be serving the same market of clients as other business consultants. You may be solving the same problem as other business consultants. There are a lot of business consultants in the world, right? It's silly to imagine you'll be the only one serving a sector of the market that you do and solving that specific problem that you do. But look at the specific problem that you're solving and see if you can approach it in a different way, and maybe offer to solve that problem in a more satisfactory way for your client than maybe he or she could get elsewhere. So use your imagination. Think outside of the box. What is not being offered? If you were in their shoes, what could you really use if you were in their shoes and in their position that isn't being offered? What would you want? Because if that's how you feel about it, chances are that's exactly how they feel about it, and many more others too. And that could be your differential. That could be what gives you the heads up above every other business coach out there and really sees you start to gain some momentum to where you want to go. Okay, we're on to number 4. I'm going on longer than I said I would. Never mind. Remember, number 4, you're here to solve a problem, issue, challenge, whatever. Okay? Focus on that. Focus on that. The key is agitate them. Agitate the problem. Connect them with their problem. You want them to feel the pain, because they're going to want a solution really, really badly if you reconnect them with the pain. They're going to want, hopefully, the solution. If you're doing things right, they're going to want the solution from you, and they're really, really going to appreciate the outcome when you resolve it for them. And then you end up really with, raving fans. And that's what you want. You want people going out, shouting from the rooftops about you and the wonderful things you can do for people's businesses and the wonderful things you've done for their business. So you need to be able to agitate, remind them about the problem and all the, what's going to feel like if you can't overcome this. Imagine 6 months' time, if you can't resolve this, how will that feel? Little questions like that. How would that feel? If you could resolve it in 6 months' time and you were here, how would that feel? And you'll find your own way. We're all different. But it's very, very important that you remember you're a problem solver and don't get sidetracked from that. That's why you're there. Okay? You're not there for pleasant conversation. You're there to help them come up with a solution to a real problem that they're facing. And as long as you stay focused on that and you stay focused on giving them results, you'll do really, really well, and the client will be happy. Number 5, you need to keep continually educating yourself. Now, whether or not that means you're going to work with a mentor or a coach, or you're going to invest in programs, or you're going to read books, whatever it is, you must every day invest, I would say, at least an hour of your day crafting your skills, sharpening the saw. That's what you need to do, because through that consistent sharpening of the saw, that's what takes ordinary business consultants and turns them into highly desired market leaders and the top of the kind of tree business consultants that everybody wants to work with. In short, I'm talking about being the expert, the go-to expert in your particular field of expertise. And the only way you're going to do that is by honing your skills, learning more, putting it to use, and becoming better and better every single day. Remember that not all of your competitors are going to be doing this, but the really good ones that are serious about their business and have a vision for the future, they're going to be doing this stuff. So if you're not doing this stuff, you're going to be falling behind, and you're going to be losing very, very valuable client contracts to those folks. You don't want to be doing that, so invest in your own skills and your own education. Number 6, we are moving on all of a sudden. Learn to deal with rejection. I can't even remember where I heard this, but some time ago I heard a phrase that went something along the lines of, the word yes lives in the land of no. And it truly does. It does. Every no, let's take the Edison thing. You know, I remember years ago hearing about Thomas Edison when he's trying to invent the light bulb, and it was suggested to him that, you know, when it failed again, oh, look, it's failed again. And he said, well, no, he said, I haven't failed. I've just found one more way that it doesn't work, which has moved me, has moved me one step closer to the way that will. There was no thought in his mind that it ever wasn't going to turn out the way he wanted it. He was just one step nearer, and it kept him pumped and empowered to complete the project until he did indeed come up with a light bulb that is really the precursor to everything that we enjoy today. And I'm suggesting that you have that same concept in mind when you're dealing with people and you hear no, 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 no. Remember that no takes you one step nearer to the next yes. And if you think of it that way, you will stay committed, you will stay up, and you will be empowered to be successful. Just that little switch between the ears makes a massive, massive difference. And number 7, it's the last in the list, but it's by no means the least important in the list. And that is to, at all times, maintain your integrity when you're dealing with people. Be honest, do what's best for them. Don't think of yourself first. Give value, make a difference. Think of them, not you, and always be honest in your dealings with people. And it will pay you back tenfold, in fact, much more than tenfold, by just doing that. And hey, the other knock-on effect of that is you feel really good about yourself too. It's always really, really good when you can, excuse me again, early in the morning here. It's always really good when you feel that you can earn money by giving massive value. I know that when I was a younger man, I did jobs myself where I felt I was taking more than I was giving, but it was just part of the job. But it's not a very nice feeling. So make sure that you always put value at the forefront of all of your interactions with people, and you will not go far wrong. You will do very, very well indeed. Okay, I hope that's not gone on too long for you. I get a bit passionate about this sort of stuff, but I really, really want you to implement some of this stuff. Think about it. You know, think about the tweaks you can make in your business, and don't just think about it. Implement it. Take some action. That's the other disconnect I see so often. People invest time in reading books, watching videos, whatever, and they don't do anything with it. It's just, you know, you might as well go make a cup of coffee, watch a TV program, do whatever you do. If you're not going to implement what you learn, this is really dead time. So promise yourself that you're going to take some action and you can really be a successful business consultant. I believe in you. Do you believe in you? Listen, it's been a pleasure bringing this video to you today. Have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are in the world. Stay connected to me and I will speak to you soon. Cheers. Hey, it's Robert here. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you've really enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed this, then please subscribe to this channel and come back and see many more. Doing these things all the time. And if you want to know when the next one comes up, click the little bell and you'll get a notification each and every time we've got a new video up there for you to have a look at. And the other thing is, I nearly forgot. If you love everything to do with personal development, business development, and just getting yourself into a peak state, then you're going to want to get over to my free webinar training, which is going to show you exactly the steps to take to overcome any inner barriers that are stopping you from achieving in life and business right now, and exactly what to do to get that put right and start living the life of your dreams, starting right now. Sounds like a tall order? Promise you, you can do this stuff. Get across to my webinar training. The link is in the description below this video. I hope to see you there. And at the very least, I hope that you click the bell. I hope you subscribe to the channel. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Take good care. Bye-bye.